All over here at the Thornbury Surfacing Stadium where it's ended. Braintree 2, Chippenham 1. Gary, just talk us through your initial thoughts on that, mate.
Yeah, I think today, Braintree came and did what they've probably done a lot of the season. Really, they were good in both boxes. I think in terms of when they got in there, they were aggressive. I felt we allowed ourselves, like I say, first half plenty of ball. I think they've scored with their first entry into the box, which was a long diagonal ball, which we haven't dealt with. We haven't been strong enough to go and deal with the first one, and then we've switched off to, in fairness, it's a great ball in, and then we haven't been strong enough in the middle again to go and deal with it. So that's obviously affected us today, but I don't think today we dealt with the physical threat, and I can accept that to some extent, because they're a big physical side, so we're not going to go and win every single ball. But I felt we didn't compete to the levels that we have done over the last few weeks, and ultimately that's cost us, because they've essentially scored with pretty much two of their only attacks in the first half.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Gav. First 45 minutes, I think Chippenham must have enjoyed about 40 minutes of solid possession in there. It looked a lot of intent early doors, first 15 minutes or so. Thought we were absolutely fantastic, and then obviously both of Braintree's goals coming in that first half spell.
Yeah, I'd be saying the same thing. As I said, they've had two chances first half, and I think we just haven't dealt with the first ball, and then we haven't dealt with the second phase very well either, really. So that's a physicality thing. We can't do too much on that, but I think, as I said, we've either switched off or not necessarily gone with runners and not had enough effect or impact on that. So yeah, we had plenty of ball after that, and we huffed and puffed a bit first half, a couple of good chances, get ourselves back in it second half, and again, we go on and maybe leave ourselves open to one chance for them on the break. But again, I think they've only had maybe three chances in the whole game, and like I said, when we've got ourselves back in it at 2-1, Kane hits the post. If that goes in, it's 2-2, and I think we maybe sneak on to win it.
Really strange second half, Gar. We came out obviously after the first 45 minutes, and somehow it got to 60 minutes, and all of the time was spent on the floor. Obviously, the referee Craig Scriven has gone down with a rather innocuous knee injury. It's taken a good 10 minutes for him to get back up. Faz and the keeper have collided for a good 4 minutes there. Sort of 15 minutes of the second half were spent inactive.
Yeah, look, again, like I said, I think it's part of what I think they're really good at. As I said, they managed the game well, got themselves in front, had something to protect, and that lead, as I said, made the game really, really bitty. First half, second half, kept going down, throwing the ball straight out, and that type of thing. Like I said, fair play. They managed the game really, really well. Doesn't help, like I said, then the ref's gone down and that type of thing. So we built up a little bit of a momentum right at the start of that second half, and then that gets killed, and the game's broken up. And like I said, it took probably 15 minutes of those delays for us then to build a head of steam going into that final sort of 20-25 minutes. Real
encouraging signs for you in the second 45 though, Gary, with Craig Fassamay coming back and getting a game at home for the first time in it seems forever. Matt McClure making his home debut, and then of course Owen Windsor, your signing this week, comes off the bench, and he's the one who taps home Johnny on the spot in the middle to bring you back into the game 2-1. It must be really encouraging to see these new faces coming into the squad, and give a couple of weeks to gel. They're certainly going to look like they're going to be a big part of this season.
Yeah, we say it every week. If we can improve, and we think there's people out there that can help us as a group, then we'll try and get them in. So yeah, you can see that again today. We've got some good options off the bench. Like I said, we can go and chase the game with Alex Bray and Owen, and we can shore it up if we need to with obviously Spence and Cal. So we've got some like I said, some really good options on there. So yeah, look, we'll continue to do that where we can, and like I say, hopefully, as I said, that will stand us in good stead over the busy period that we've got coming up.
Fortunately, Gary, the games do get easier from here on out. You've got Dartford on Saturday and a game against Ebbsfleet on Tuesday. Both sides going absolutely flying in the National South. But it's become a bit of a long-standing tradition, not just for Chippenham, but for yourself at Chippenham, to go and really give these big boys a game. And our last time up to Dartford, we certainly got good memories there.
Yeah, and obviously we won the home game here this season as well. So, but again, right, today we haven't won, and I don't think we win many football matches if we don't win the first contact and deal with second contact really, really well. We'll get more of the same next week at Dartford. So again, we'll need to work on that this week to make sure we're at our very best. But yeah, look, the playoffs and how we performed against Dartford at the start of the season are a distant memory. We need to focus on the here and now.
I suppose a shining light on an otherwise fairly drab day, Gary. Back at the Thornbury Surfacing Stadium for what feels like the first time in forever, and a good 500 of your own supporters packed in here today. It must be really good for you boys after spending such a long time on the road, so many games that are getting called off or abandoned due to weather conditions, to finally come out at home and get a chance to play on your own patch.
Yeah, and it's one game at home, and then we're on the road again. So in that little spell that we were hoping in January we could come and show everybody how much we progressed, and like I said in January, and pick up some points from some really important home games and a run of those home games. We're back on the road again next week, but no, it was brilliant today. The fans are great, as they always are, and like I say, we're just disappointed we haven't been able to give them something to cheer about at the end in terms of nicking a little point.
Well, Gaz, it's on to Dartford at the weekend on Saturday. For now, mates, commiserations. We'll see you in the bar for a drink afterwards, but unlucky today, Gary.
Cheers.
Well done, mate.